Hello adventurers, and welcome to this educational walkthrough of Elder Scrolls IV: Oblivion with Samwise from Mahalo. For more Oblivion videos, go to mahalo.com/Oblivion Walkthrough. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to this video.
Pardon me. I'm sorry to trouble you, but I was sent to ask for your help. Where are my manners? I'm Rosa Norvalo. My husband, Gillen, has requested that I find you and ask if you'd assist him. Normally, I wouldn't approach a total stranger like this, but Gillen seemed so insistent. Please forgive my audacity. Thank you. Gillen always tends to exaggerate, but in this case he sounded earnest, which worries me a bit. He said to tell you that the matter he needs help with is of the utmost importance to the citizens of the Imperial City. You're to meet him at Seradur's house, which is located in the Temple District. He said all will be explained when you get there. That's all he told me to say. Thank you. I'm sure he'll be pleased. I must go now. Good day to you.
It's an honor to finally meet you. When I heard you were in town, I just had to send for your help. Your reputation precedes you. Oh, allow me to introduce myself. I am Seradur. Likewise, sorry to send Gillen's wife to get you in that manner, but it seems safer if we weren't seen on the streets right now. If you'll come with me. Splendid. Watch your step. Hello. Hi there. Everyone wants to know what really happened in the temple. What happened to Martin? Was the fiery dragon really Akatosh? Fine. Good night. Bye. I'm listening. Go ahead.
I'm honored by your presence.
Now, welcome. You're now in the sanctuary of the Order of the Virtuous Blood. Few outside our circle have ever set foot in our hallowed hall. We are, for lack of a better word, defenders. We guard the city from an infestation that plagues it. We are vampire hunters. I'm sure you are familiar with these despicable beings, feeding on the innocent as if they were cattle. Well, this group was formed to combat them. Alas, we are but 3 old men, not able to match the fighting prowess of a vampire. We lack the strength to defeat them in battle. Our goal is to root out the vampires that live in our fair city. So far, we've been unsuccessful finding one, until now. It's come to the Order's attention that Temple District resident Roland Genseric is a vampire, and has already claimed one victim. That's where you come in. We want you to slay this vampire and cleanse the city of his filth before he can feed or kill again. A few nights ago, I was roaming the city as I often do, looking for any signs of a vampire. As I headed past Roland's house, I heard a cry. I rushed into the back garden to find Roland struggling with a woman he'd been courting. I tried to intervene, but he was too strong. He threw his lover to the ground and turned his attention on me. Luckily, I managed to run back into the street and escape his grasp. I hid for a while and then returned to the garden. Roland was gone, and the woman was dead. She had 2 puncture marks on the nape of her neck. That's when I realized he was a vampire. The Order needs you to track him and destroy him. I would start by searching his home. He hasn't been there for days, so it should be safe. Return to us here if you have questions. We meet at night. His home is located in the Temple District, right across the garden from my home, in fact. Ironic, isn't it? Who knows when Roland will strike again? You must hurry. What is it?
Go away. I know what you're here for. Just leave me alone. Vampires? Why would you ask me about those filthy creatures? That bastard! Seridor dares accuse me of being a vampire? Me? Ha! He's the one who is the vampire. I can't believe him. I knew he would try and pin this on me. If only I could get my hands on him. I'm sorry. I've been hiding up here in this cabin and I've forgotten my manners. Try and understand. I loved her. I'd never harm her. Ralphina was the love of my life. For the first time I had a positive outlook. Then I saw Seridor looking at her with those coveting eyes. When she started taking walks in the garden at night, I became suspicious. I didn't want to lose her. I should have trusted her. Oh, Ralphina. Yes, I must let someone else know. That night, I decided to follow Ralphina. I wanted to see where she went on her walks. When she stopped in the garden and Seridor stepped out of the shadows, my heart sank. Then suddenly he was upon her. She seemed entranced as he wrapped his arms around her and sank his teeth into her neck. I burst from my hiding place and attacked Seridor. He became startled for a moment and tossed Ralphina aside. She fell to the ground, and I heard a sickening crack as her head struck a stone. I was no equal to Seridor. He knocked me down in one quick movement. As I lost consciousness, I saw him laugh and then run away. Now I know why he didn't finish me that night. He wanted to cast suspicions on me instead. I panicked. By the time I awoke, her body was gone. I knew Seridor was a respected member of the community. They'd never believe he was a vampire. I retreated here to the cabin to collect my thoughts. I suppose you must decide what to do. Are you going to kill me? Thank you. I'm happy you gave me a chance to explain. I know about Seridor and his secret order. What better way for a vampire to hide than to pretend he hunts them? You may want to speak to Phintius at the first edition bookshop in the market district of the city. I know he goes there occasionally. I doubt that he's told Gillen and Greythroat anything, but you could always try. As you know, the vampire can't remain in sunlight. I'd wager that you'll never see Seridor outside during that time of day. Remain leery of Seridor. He's much more cunning than you may suspect.
How are you?
How are you?
The thought of what might have happened if you and Martin hadn't stopped Dagon's invasion. But it's over. Thank Akka. Seridor? He comes in from time to time. Usually it's when he's out shopping. He always comes in with a large amount of travel food in his bag. Then sometimes he buys a few books. I asked him once about it, and he said that he goes out of the city on business trips. I think I overheard him once mention Memorial Cave to another patron of mine, but he never talked to me about it directly. Yes, it's outside of the Imperial City. I heard it's a place where many of the heroes from past wars are buried. Sort of a subterranean graveyard. I just assumed Seridor had a relative that died and is buried there. Not many people go out there anymore, as the route is dangerous. But Seridor's a stubborn one. Takes integrity for a man to risk his own life to honor the fallen. I admire him for that. I looked it up once in an old atlas I had in stock. Here, let me mark it on your map. Good day.